Today's podcast episode may have been recorded in the bathroom, but you didn't hear that from me.
Now back to the VO Life with Troy Holden.
Hey, welcome back to the VO Life. Here we are into the December shorts. How short are your shorts? They're going to be a lot shorter than the first one. Sorry about that, but let's get right to it today. Today we're going to call this one You Do You. I had a million titles for it, but that's the one I landed on. And let me tell you why. Here's the thing, and I'm in the dilemma right now, and you guys hear me talk about this sometimes because I feel like I'm at this pivotal point where I need to be not doing any cheap work. None. But I also have bills to pay. So you have to make that decision. You do you. I'll do me, you do you, and we'll just be quiet about it and do what we need to do. That may be how you want to play it, but then again, you may not. You may want to talk about it. And sometimes talking about it makes you feel better. Why not? Okay, so today I did a thing that I said I was done with, and I did it. I took another YouTube client today. Let me explain why. And those that are anti-Fiverr aren't going to like this. And those that are make your own way, you're going to love it. It is what it is. I currently have, and let me make sure I count correctly, I have one YouTube client that sends me anywhere, most days it's four scripts a day, 6 days a week. That's 24 opportunities right there. All right, 24. Usually 24. Some days he'll send 2, some days he'll send 1. The writer's behind. The next day they'll make it up and send 5 or 6. So on average, it's 4 a day times 6, about 24 a week, sometimes more. I have another one who I've been with forever since I started, and his channel never really took off. So he decided just very recently he was going to change completely what he was doing. And I really liked what he sent me because they were kind of funny, but documentary type, but suspenseful. And it wasn't like reading a top 10 or an Elon Musk or a SpaceX or a boxing channel or whatever. It was different. And so he's restarted, and he'll send usually 4 at a time, and it's usually just once a month. So there's 4 more opportunities. I have another guy that sends me about 4 a month. And he, all these are decent pay. They're not pitiful. Believe me, I wouldn't do them. There's another one. There's a guy I picked up actually off of Voices 123 or Voice 123. I always get that wrong. And he pays me by the minute. So I talk really slow. No, I'm kidding. And they are all about, the solar system and stuff. And he just wants me to be very serious when I talk, and how serious can you be with this accent? But I do those. And like I said, he pays me by the minute. So typically it's $10 a minute, and they typically run about 20 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes, of narration. And a lot of people say, God, that's too cheap. And some of the other stuff, they say, my gosh, that's too cheap. But I want you to put all that in a bucket. Right? Think about what I just said. There were 24, 30, say 30 narrations coming in a month, and you're getting $30 a piece. That's $900. You're picking up this other guy who pays right at 2. That's $1,100. You've got this other guy and the 20-something a week. Wait a minute, times 4. Wait a minute. You're talking close to $2,000 a month just off YouTube. Yeah. And you have time to do those? Yeah, I do right now. But I prioritize. I do them late in the afternoon, and I deliver them in the evenings, usually the daily stuff. And then the other, I tell them it could be 3 to 5 days before you get it. Why do I do that? Because everything else that I want to make money with and build my career on is what I'm going to focus on. But I'm going to keep this stuff for now because why? Doesn't it wear you out to read that much a day? And doesn't it take forever to edit that stuff? Nope. The scripts are fantastic. I sometimes have 2 to 3 edits per 10 minutes or 6 minutes or 8 minutes. I don't have to edit that much. I don't punch and roll. I click. And I can usually do, the guy that sends me 4, I can usually record all 4, have them edited, and back into WeTransfer in an hour and 15 minutes. So the big picture is that's well over, it's $120 in that amount of time. So that's close to $100 an hour. And that's kind of where I had drawn the line. Now I would love to make a lot more money than that. Let's be realistic. I want to do the agent auditions and book those, but I'm not booking regularly yet. I've booked 4 or 5 this year, in a year. And my mentor tells me that's a pretty good number your first year. A lot of people go a year or 2 without booking anything. They're with an agent, they're auditioning, and then finally it starts hitting because they realize they got to get more coaching and do this and do that. And maybe they weren't 100% ready. But I'm booking some, so I'm happy with that. I'm booking on the pay-to-plays. I book on voices.com. I book on Voice 123. I book on Backstage. And those are the ones that pay more, so I concentrate on those more. And then I do this for backup. Gosh, don't you have a Fiverr account? Yeah. Do you get a lot of orders on there? No, I don't. I just don't. I might get 1 or 2 a week, or some weeks are busier and I might get 4 or 5, but they're normally a 1-minute job, 2-minute job. They take very little time. The idea is I've got to do me for right now until the other is substantial enough I can quit it. Remember when you talk about when do I know how to go full time and I had to put all that in that bucket and say there's enough of this YouTube stuff and some of this other that trickles in every week. It's not the best of the best work. There's enough of that I can pay my bills, and that's my decision because I want to do this. Am I hurting myself? Probably not. And let me give you 2 opinions on that right now. I'm not going to say Fiverr's accepted because it's not in a lot of ways because of the rates and the cheap stuff. But like I've said many times, there are things on there that'll never be an agency job, will never be a pay-to-play job, right? Does it belittle you to do that stuff for less money? I think that's your decision. You shouldn't advertise it and you shouldn't, be super proud of it if you're trying to become a different type of voice actor. But you don't have to necessarily be fully ashamed of it and not do it and pass up the money because you might need the money. That money may be what pays for that coaching. That may be what buys your whisper room or whatever you need to go to the next level, that next piece of equipment, or get you with a marketing coach or get you with the right performance coach because you need that money coming in. You can't, some people I guess can if they make good money at a regular job and they can invest and spend on their VO career and build it up and then launch. That would be awesome. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way for everybody. We're all different. And I'll give a last word here on Fiverr because I'm staying under 10 minutes no matter what. My last word on Fiverr is this. That type of work is always going to be out there, and it's never going to be agency work, and it's never going to be – those people cannot afford to pay industry rates. You can't pay industry rate on a YouTube channel narration that you're not even monetized on. Monetized, say that correctly. You're not making money on it. You're paying a video guy. You're paying a voiceover guy. You're putting all this stuff up and your time into it, trying to get monetized. And you might or you might not. The one guy said earlier, I don't think he's ever got monetized, but he's pouring money into it and because he enjoys it, I guess. That's your choice. You do that. You do you. And that's really what I want you to think about sometimes is when you read all this controversial stuff and people are against this and against that, it's okay. Let them be them and you do you. And what I'm trying to learn is keep my opinions to myself, although here I am venting them on a podcast and a lot of good it's going to do. But, yes, I would rather be in situation B than situation A, but I got to pay my bills just like a lot of people. And I still have some cheap work that I'm not ashamed of. I just don't publicize it a lot and probably shouldn't even now. And I broke the 10 minutes, but I did my best. You do you, I'll do me. Let's all do what we got to do. Let's quit running down the other stuff. Stay in your lane, do your job. know your role and shut your hole. How about that? Hope that wasn't too offensive. All right, have a good one, and we'll catch you next time on the next Winter Short.
This has been The VO Life with Troy Holden. If you'd like to consult with Troy one-on-one, visit his website and schedule time at TroyHoldenVoices.com. Join the VO Live Facebook page and interact with other new voice talent. Join the VO workouts or the midweek meetup on the VO Live page events. And be sure and leave a review on Apple and let us know what you'd like us to cover on the podcast. You can also get all of the episodes on Troy's YouTube page. Just search for Troy Holden Voices. That boy is everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. Next thing you know, he'll have a streaming TV show. God forbid. And I will.